want to be pulled down. I want to stand up. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Kyrika Rashid Show, and I'm so glad that you decided to come back for more. So what's up? As you can see, we have this really, blank canvas background. That means that I didn't have the inspiration before I left Ireland, and I'm not there anymore. So we had to record in a different space, set up. Now, will the background look as ugly as this all the time? No, but we're gonna have to make it do what it do for the time being, okay? So what's up? Yes, flew back from Ireland. No, we didn't win the game, unfortunately. We lost. Yeah, we lost. Flew out the next day, and now I'm here. And now I'm here back in Portland, Oregon, and time has I just been day by day by day. Yeah, my trip first of all, my trip was like very chaotic, but everything about being on the plane and being in the air was smooth. I had to go from, first of all, when we got to the Dublin airport, my teammate's flight got canceled. They didn't really notify her. Then she got on the same flight as me to Heathrow. We was in Heathrow together. And then I went through the wrong area, but the people let me go through thinking I was going to the UK, but I'm just trying to go back to America. Then they get mad at me because, and mind you, it wasn't just me. It was me and this other girl. She was going to Tennessee, and we was in the wrong spot. So then we had to go all the way out to arrivals, all the way to departures, get to the new security line. My passport's not working. Why is it not working? Huh? Put it in like 4 times. They're like, oh, try again. I put it in 4 times already. What do you mean try again? Help me. Help me. Help me. Then they say, oh, go over there, go over there. Where's over there? Where's over there? What do you mean by over there? So then I go to this other person. They say, oh, you need to go over there. Where the fuck is over there? Mind you, I'm not stressing. I'm like, Lord gonna get me through. Don't even trip. Like, he not finna, we gonna be cool. But still, what is y'all talking about? Then I finally get to the third person. She's like, oh yeah, go to this specific place. Thank you. Get to the specific place. There's another girl in front of me who's going to America. And it's just because we have American passports. Now, maybe they're not fucking with American passports for real. You know what I'm saying? I thought, it was the strongest passport. Maybe it's not as strong as you thought. All the man does is reprint our boarding pass, and then I'm able to get through. I get to my gate with like less than 20 minutes to spare. I could have been there with like an hour. But we doing all this extracurricular stuff, but nonetheless, we made it. And then when I got on the flights, I had, nice little room. They wasn't full flights either. So it was like very roomy. I think I was like in the middle. You know how the big planes, they got the sides, middles. I was in the middle, but like there was nobody in the middle seat either. And I was like, it was a vibe. I think the person behind me had the whole row to themselves. Very, very vibey. The only thing I didn't do was sleep, which is really strange for me because I used to be a sleeper, which I still am a sleeper. But on this one, I didn't really sleep too much. Anyways, we made it back. Sister had her baby. That's the other thing. Sister was in labor for 56 hours. I get there. As soon as I turn on my phone, she's having the kid. She didn't have the kid. So I get off the plane. I'm going straight to the hospital. Straight to the hospital to see my niece. To see my niece. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot going on. But we're doing all right. But then the past days I've been waking up. I was waking up at like 2 a.m. every time. Hungry as shit, staying up for like an hour and then going back to sleep. So I've been like tired, but I've been cool. We getting acclimated and activated. Everything's okay. But this episode, sorry about that tangent, not really. This episode is about my Ireland recap because we're not there anymore. It's the done data. So we're gonna recap that. All right, let's get into it. So what had happened was, now this is going to be, we're gonna talk about, because I spent 2 years there, we're gonna give like comparisons. I don't know, we're just gonna talk about it because I was there for 2 years, you know what I'm saying? 2 years. And I think I talked about it. So I was in Killarney and Cork. If you don't know, look it up. Cork is not as big as Dublin, but it's big. It's big enough. It's giving city vibes, but not extreme city vibes, like smaller city. Killarney, small town vibes. I walked past cows every day. You know what I'm saying? In Cork, I don't think I was doing that. So we were giving more countryside, more if you were in Portland, Oregon. Like, okay, Cork is like Portland, Oregon. And Killarney's like all the outskirts, like the country parts of Oregon, if that makes sense. I'd say in Cork, we got a lot more city vibes. We got like buses driving around town. We got, I don't know, it's just bigger. Oh, we got more community, more teams, more networking, more friends, bigger clubs, lots more things to see, lots more options. Killarney, small. The pubs and the bars, very small. The community, there was only one women's team in Killarney and 2 men's teams. Compared to Cork, we had like 4 or 5 teams. So we was vibing with everybody. Cork lived in a hotel. Killarney lived in a house. Both great vibes. I had to do a lot of washing. Lots of hang drying. I'm not used to that. In Cork, they did the laundry for me. You know what I'm saying? But they only did it once a week. You know, when I'm doing it by myself, we had to keep washing over and over again. You know what I'm saying? They changed my sheets. I gotta change my sheets. You know, which one do you want? But then, Killarney, I'm cooking my own food. I'm eating what I want to eat. Cork, I'm eating, you know, in the hotel. So, pick your poison. Pick your poison. I'd say in Killarney, I felt like for myself, I was more discreet, more unknown, which is great for me because I don't want to be out there talking, doing all that stuff. In Cork, I wasn't out there doing all that stuff, but I feel like I would walk down the street a lot more and there would be a little kid like, hey, I seen you play. And I'd be like, hey, I seen you too. And we would do that type of encounter versus Killarney, I go out down the street and nobody knows who I am. You know what I'm saying? And if they didn't know who I am, no one ever said anything. So that was great for me. Also the coffee shops in Killarney. Now, to be fair to Cork, I didn't really, I had my little coffee shops in the beginning. I had, you know, because I was nervous, I had to go into Starbucks for a long period of time. Then I said, okay, you know, broaden your horizon. And there was just like this coffee shop right down the hill from my hotel, so that was my coffee shop. I didn't go to no other ones. Now in Killarney, there was my favorite one. They had like this matcha rose. They had good little pastries and stuff. I'm like, yep. Just lines and lines of coffee. You know what I'm saying? Lots of things. So yeah, both of them, I feel like I was like, you know, there to handle my business. But I feel like in Killarney, I was a little bit more like OD with my routine and schedule. Like, I come, I do my job, I go home. I come, I do my job, I go home. I come, I do my job, I go home. A little bit of fun here and there. Not saying I didn't have fun in general, but like when people think of fun, they think, oh, we're going out, we're going to the bar, we're doing that. I'm not doing all that. I didn't do all that for real. Also because I get overwhelmed in the small spaces and being out for a long time, and I'm not getting drunk as everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. So I would try, I would stay out for an hour. A lot of times I would do the Irish goodbye. And then sometimes towards the end, I'll be like, all right, I'm leaving. I can't do this no more. But it's like, I don't have that in me. It's not in me. You know, sometimes I have it, but I really didn't have it. Okay, what else about my island experience? I feel like in comparison to my first and second year, I would say my second year, I was more focused on the job than the experience. Whereas in my first year, I was trying to do both. Like I have my job, but also bask in the experience. Like this is your first time, who knows if you'll do it again, you know what I'm saying? And I think that this second year for me was more about like my development and becoming a different player and proving, you know, to myself that I could do certain things, also to others, because, you know, if you watched back then, basically they was done recruiting. They was done recruiting. The only reason why you're here is because Conor got pregnant. Anyways, yeah. And once I got to Ireland this year, it was like, okay, We're not fumbling. This is what you came here to do. Do it. Do it. Do it then. Versus my first year, I'm like, okay, like, you know, hang out, see the people. Like, you never know. YOLO, first time out the country. You only live once. I feel like part of this year, in my experience, it was like, okay, I had been to Ireland before, and like, while there are differences to Ireland, a lot of it is similar, you know, to me. Like even in like Portland to Ireland, like the greenery, the rain, I'm like, I come from that, you know what I'm saying? So it's not really surprising. Like even like cows and stuff, it's like, it's not that I ain't seen that out here before, so it wasn't that I felt the need to like see more and really get out there because I had been there before. And I was like, okay, now it's like more business vibes. You come, you do your job, and that's that. So I was really locked in. I was way more OD about my routine and doing the things I need to do. It was more like autopilot, and I had to keep doing it because I was like, you didn't come here for nothing. You didn't come here for no reason. You didn't come here. Get it right, get it tight. This year, I'd say it was more like 7.5 months versus my first year was like 7. But what I will say is that my first year towards the end, it kind of took a long time to end. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when you start getting to the end and you start thinking about going home, it just feels like it's dragging. Versus this year, and maybe it's because I was on autopilot. Maybe it's because I was in the zone, getting the zone, Maybe it's because I was in the zone that it just went. I don't know. Like we had like a bunch of 2-week breaks, and those breaks just kept flying through. And maybe that's just because I kept, okay, gym, home, cord, this, that, right, sleep, do it again tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like it went, even though it was a longer time. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it was dragging. They was dragging it sometimes, but overall, I feel like it went by faster. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I felt like, okay, another one is like I keep wanting to say freshman year. My rookie year, I think I was a lot more nervous because it was all new. It was something that I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how it went for real. I just didn't know. And I also was like, this is the first time they're gonna see me play. Like I've proven myself, you know, at this point, but this is a new point. So there was a lot more nerves versus this year going into my second year. Even though I played a different position, I didn't really get nervous. I went into games, I went into big games, full on confidence, not tripping about what I could do. Now, would I get mad at myself and stuff sometimes? Of course, yes. It's like, girl, you know you could do more. Valid, very valid take, Kai. But for the most part, every time I stepped on the floor, I had the confidence, and I never felt like, oh, well, what if, I don't know, like, I'm really nervous today. I don't know. And maybe it's because I went to Ireland again that I somewhat knew what to expect. Now, my first year, I didn't know what to expect. There were obviously things to get used to in the second year. But as far as the Irish life and how they move and how, like, you know, they go about their day, I knew that based off the year before. I was talking to an older lady in the sauna, and I said, you know, I feel like people in Ireland, it's like they're constantly doing something, but it doesn't feel like they're burnt out or feel rushed. Like, people like to say Black people time. I will also say Irish time. Irish people be on their own time, but they always doing something. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So I knew that coming in. I knew that if we started practice at 7, then we could start practice at 7:05. You know, I knew that. A difference. So I played in the Super League, which is the top league in Ireland, versus my second year I played in the lower league, which is like the second league in Ireland. But next year they're going to be playing in the Super League, period. And there was a difference. Now, both of them, I say both leagues, like, you know, we're on Irish time. For me, it was a bit more chaotic, which I've talked about. It was a bit more chaotic. Like, practices were never like fixed on the same days of the week. They would change. Sometimes, you know, practices were canceled. Sometimes we had an extra practice, you know. It just, as far as a person who's routine like me, sometimes it changed. Well, not sometimes it changed. It was just always changing and fluctuating versus in my first year, it was the same, knew what to expect. I will say in this second year, as far as like my gym access, it was pretty much there unless they went on vacation or holidays, as they say. Then all the kids would be in there. But most of the time I had the gym to myself and I just had access to it, which is a vibe. My first year, it was like these fixed time slots that switched throughout the day. So sometimes it could be 7 a.m., it could be 8, it could be 9, it could be 4 p.m., it could be 3. You know what I'm saying? It really just depended. So those are other things. I think in my first year, I was playing with a person who had been doing this longer than me, as well as this year, but it was more like, I don't know, Batman Robin, and I was Robin, and I could, you know, I don't know, like sometimes, I don't know how to put it. Basically, in this year, girl, you better score. You better score. Now, yes, you better score my first year too, but like this year even more, girl, you better score. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, you better score. You better put that ball in the hoop. Type shit. Yeah, I think that's a lot. I was just really OD about the schedule and my routine, the stuff that I could control. So if I could control it, then I wanted it to be fixed. I wanted it to be like this every single day because that's what I knew I can control. All the other stuff I couldn't control. Now, yes, was I OD in the routine? Probably. But at the same time, it kept me grounded. It kept me grounded because there were a lot of changes happening all the time that if I just felt like I was falling into the changes, then I would have fell into that. Like, it would have been a distraction for me versus focusing on the things that I could control. And that was an improvement from year 1 to year 2. Whereas I think year 1, I might have complained more about things I couldn't control versus this year, it was like, oh, well, that ain't got nothing to do with me. So all I could do is what I need to do. That don't got nothing to do with me. My name's Bennett. I'm not in it. That's the energy that I gave this year. Like, my name's Bennett. I don't have nothing to do with that. It don't got nothing to do with me. You know, like a lot of times, so I would coach for both, like my first year, second year. But a lot of times this year, it was like, we wouldn't be told we had to coach, and then all of a sudden we would like have to coach, you know? And then when we would go coach, now me, hands up, I would get irritated. Like, in general, I'm like, that's irritating because I have a routine and it's nighttime, I'm getting ready for bed, this and that, and all of a sudden you're saying we have to coach, right? But I didn't allow myself to get there. I said, okay, I can control that. Gotta go coach. And then go home. But I was still a little irritated, but it's just the way I went about it. Like, if I soaked in it too much, then I just feel like it just pulled me down. And I don't want to be pulled down. I want to stand up. Another thing I want to talk about, Irish scene. I think now the people in Cork don't fight me. People in Dublin don't fight me. Like, if you're watching, I feel like Killarney be the most hurt. I don't know. They gets down. They do not play when it comes to going out and drinking. And maybe that's another reason why I really didn't have no urges to go out, because when they go, they go. They get down. They do not play. We had I think I talked about St. Patrick's Day. We're going from sun up to sundown. How are y'all okay? Like, how are you okay? Like, I just physically couldn't do that. Like, I don't know how to do that. And then on top of that, they get up the next day after all the drinking and still keep it pushing. Not me. I don't think I've like ran into many teammates like this year, many teammates, or even people who weren't my teammates, but like I was affiliated with and was around. I don't think they was really just laying in bed. They still got up. the next day and did what they did. They are built different. And also, I think it's because it was so small and, you know, we're in the clubs and everybody's on each other. I don't want to be all up in each other's faces the whole time. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But I watched them and I even told them, I'm like, I don't know how y'all do that for real. Like, y'all, if you go to Ireland and if you a person who think you could really get after that lick for real, you don't know nothing until you go to Ireland. Go to Ireland. See if you could drink with the best of them. Huh? See if you could drink with the best of them. Because I guarantee you can't. That's what I think. I don't know. Yeah, I really enjoyed my company like so much this year. I believe I enjoy my company a lot overall, but like probably even more this year. Because I'm like, I just came here to hoop. I just came here to hoop, man. And it became a joke with some of my teammates because I got asked a question multiple times and it had to do with something that's none of my business. And I said, I'm just here to hoop. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here to hoop. And I just kept saying that because that's true. So I think I went into this year with more of it's like, in real life is a business trip, girl. Like, you're here to hoop. All the extra stuff that don't got nothing to do with you, I'm just here to hoop, bro. I'm just here to hoop. So I think, I don't know, I could have left a bunch of stuff out, but I think I got a lot of like the differences in Ireland for my first and second year, or like even certain things. I don't know. Like, I appreciated, well, everywhere's walkable, I feel like, in Europe. They just walk. But I just appreciated in Killarney as well how walkable everything was. I don't know. And there wasn't as many hills either, I'll say that. But I did have a big hill up to my house. But that was really it. That was really it. And y'all, I know you ain't heard me talk about that bike. When I first got to Ireland, I was on that bike like clockwork. But then I said, you know what? I need a slower morning. I started waking up earlier. I started easing into my morning. I'm not trying to BMX bike to the gym, go sweat. I'm trying to relax into my morning. You know what I'm saying? So I gave the bike up, y'all. Probably like a month or two in. Yeah. But I did fuck with the bike. It's like I was going through traffic. Everybody's going to school in the morning. We're going up hills. I don't want to do that. I'm trying to vibe. So I just started walking, podcasts, music, really vibing into the workout. Because when I was on the bike, I was like pushing it, sweating, going crazy. As soon as I got in the gym, I'm like, damn, I'm already tired. It was a good warm up. But I'm like, nah, I need to ease better into this. So yeah, I gave up the bike. I think that's all. So now what? I just want to say thank you to all the people, to the teams, supporters, teammates, everybody in Ireland for my first 2 years in Ireland, for introducing me into the scene, for teaching me how I want to be, teaching me the person I'd like to be moving forward, showing me the ropes in a way. You know what I'm saying? Yes, every space, every country is different, right? But it was my first experience. And Ireland is all I know. Ireland's all I know. So I learned a lot. I was there a lot, 2 years in. I feel like Ireland taught me how to be more confident as well. And just like, girl, you there to hoop? They brought you here for a reason. You don't got time for all that, thinking, overthinking, and all that stuff. Especially this year where I was like doing a bunch of different stuff. It also, I feel like Ireland, like, I don't know, like taught me in a way to really be comfortable in who I am, no matter which side that is. So I would say in Cork, I was more outgoing. I was more like, hey y'all, what's up? Da, 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 da. Versus this year in Killarney, I was more reserved, more laid back. I'm always laid back, but just like the goofier side of me was shown one moment, and then the reserved other side of me was shown another moment. And just to have confidence in whichever side I decide to present, or whichever side comes to the table, because they're all part of me. Yeah, I'm grateful for the community. People go hard for their clubs out there. They might not even know you for real, but they goes hard for their people their clubs, their counties. They do not play. The kids, man, it's the kids for me because I feel like I can work with kids. Love the kids, Kai, love the kids. Now some of them, you bad. You bad. And if you watch kids, I'm talking to you. But obviously I got some kids, like some of my teammates' kids as well. You know, lots of kids I've come across that been great. You know, the girls that I've coached. I even coached the boys team when I got there, but that was really random. Because I never coached them again. But like the girls I coach, it's like everyone's a vibe. A lot of kids love trying to teach and all that, so I'm really thankful for those experiences as well. Yeah, so now what is really just giving thanks, giving the glory to God, first of all, for just putting me in the position to, you know, have these different experiences and do different stuff. Do stuff that people I be around have never done before. And, you know, just showing people that you can do things that you haven't done before. And just thankful, grateful for being able to be in Ireland for my first 2 years. And yeah, that's a wrap. That's that on that. That's a wrap on Ireland. Year 2, baby. We out of there. So I have a question. Now, it was kind of hard formulating questions for my, like, you know, my Ireland recap, because like I'm just giving you a recap of like my Ireland experience. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to give you a good recap. But I think now these might be little silly questions, but my first question is, like, do you think you can outdrink an Irish person? If they, you know how they do the hot dog competition or pie eating competition, if they gave you Guinness, if they gave you beer, if they gave you a stout and they just start putting them on the table, who was out drinking? Would you win against the Irish person? Because my vote is that the Irish person's gonna win. It doesn't matter what type of person they are. As long as they are from Ireland, I think they got you. I think they got you. I don't know. Maybe I need to go experience some other people, but they drink like I ain't never seen it. And I thought, you know, people in college and, you know, older people, I'm like, damn, they drink a lot, but I'm like, no. They get down, and it's like, it's the way they function though. So they can be drunk and you can tell they're drunk, but they still walking down the street. They still like function. And I'm like, how are they doing that? Like, I wouldn't be able to walk. I wouldn't be able to walk. I gotta go home. So do you think you can outdrink an Irish person? Because I don't think you can. And you know, if you think you can, put your baddest bitch on the line. Put your baddest bitch on the line. Because I got a few people I think from Ireland that's gonna outdrink you. Another question, and this is for the Irish folks mostly who tune in. It's like, who has the better coffee? Ireland, Ireland or America? Huh? Now I'm sure people from their nations are gonna be like, oh, ours. But here's the thing: I don't think I'm a real coffee connoisseur. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like you could go anywhere in America and get coffee, but the amount of coffee spots, like, you'll never run out of coffee in Ireland. Like, you will never. They got coffee every which way you look. You got less than a 5-minute walk and you'll find another coffee spot. And I did find my favorite place in Killarney with coffee and, like, you know, matcha and all that stuff. And I'm like, so who has the better coffee? Y'all let me know, because I don't really be doing I don't do espresso. I'm not doing it dark. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting a, you know, little latte, oat milk, all that. So who has the better coffee, huh? But you know what Ireland did teach me to stop going to fucking Starbucks. Go somewhere else. You don't need to go to Starbucks. That's what it taught me. Okay, and then my last question is, before I came to my screen and told you about Ireland, did you for real, like, know about Ireland? Did you? Because, I mean, even for me, you probably don't know shit about Ireland, if we're being honest. Let's just put that out there. You don't know shit from me about Ireland, if we're being honest. But did you ever think about going out there? Did you ever, like, have a vibe? Because now I'm asking that because now that I've been there for 2 years, it just seems like people out of the woodworks say, oh, I've been to Ireland. Oh, I'm going to Ireland. Oh, I went to Ireland. Like, I feel like 2 to 3 people talked to my godmom about being in Ireland, being in the same place. Then she had family in Ireland that I met. Then my friend plays tennis with somebody from Ireland. Like, I'm like, all these people are coming out of the woodworks. But before that, I had never met nobody from Ireland. I barely knew anything about Ireland. So did you know? Did you know? So yeah, that's a wrap on my Irish recap. once again, this has been another beautiful, maybe quicker episode of the Kaibika Rashid Show, and I'm so glad that you decided to come back for more. Get at me.